Y'all, we're so close to 1,000 subs. Just go ahead and subscribe right now so we can make that giveaway happen sooner. Hey guys, KingXF here and welcome back to another video. Today, we're going to be checking out the Gamdias Hebe M2 RGB gaming headset. Big thanks to Gamdias for sending this to me for video purposes. With that out of the way, let this review commence. Starting off with basic design, the Hebe M2 has a metal frame and its ear cups are made of plastic. The headband is padded quite nicely, but the ear cushions are very shallow. Both appear to be made out of pleather. The mic on this headset is bendable, but not detachable. In terms of overall size, the M2 isn't that big and bulky, so even though it doesn't feature 90-degree rotating ear cups, they're small enough to rest on your head without interfering in any head movement. Also on the ear cups is a good amount of RGB lighting. Each side has one strip that goes around about half of the ear cup, with 3 smaller strips next to it. The Hebe M2 has a rubber cable and measures in at 2 meters or about 6.5 feet, though I'd much prefer a braided one. The left ear cup has mini controls crammed onto it, which I can't say I'm too fond of. They include a volume dial, a mic mute button, an LED cycler, and a vibration toggler. The position of the LED button is always tripping me up, especially when I want to mute the microphone. So what I'd like to see is either the button gets moved to the right ear cup or it swaps places with mic mute. I've mentioned earlier that this headset has RGB on it, so I'll go ahead and show y'all all the lighting effects. Moving over to technical aspects, the Hebe M2 has 53mm neodymium drivers, though stock out of the box, the sound really isn't the best. Thankfully, the software fixes that, which I'll talk about later on in this video. The headset features 35mm vibration units, an impedance of 64 ohms, a 100 decibel sensitivity, and a mic sensitivity of -42 decibels with a unidirectional pickup pattern. To quickly touch up on the vibration feature, basically what it does is that it sort of amplifies the bass and allows you to physically feel whatever you're listening to. The indication for when you turn it on is this small sort of airy tone. I don't really know how to describe it. Now, in terms of comfort, I'd have to say that they're okay at best. While the top padding is sufficient, the ear cushions are the opposite. They're very shallow and over long periods of use, my ears would start to ache. The yoke of this headset has 7 levels of adjustment, so it'll fit any head regardless of shape or size. Now I'll do a mic test of the Gamdias Hebe M2. Right now I'm talking to the mic of the Gamdias Hebe M2 RGB gaming headset. As you can hear, it's actually quite decent for a headset mic, so I'm definitely impressed. It doesn't sound tinny, and it has very little distress, unlike other headset mics I've tried in the past. As always, I would recommend using an external mic for doing things like voiceovers or podcasts, but this will be more than enough for gaming and chatting with your friends. As for other features in the software, you can toggle with microphone echo, which is pretty much self-explanatory, as well as magic voices, which include
the dinosaur voice,
the drop voice,
the male voice,
and the female voice.
Otherwise, that'll conclude this mic test. In the Gamdias Hebe software, you can choose to turn on or off surround sound, and if you choose on, over here you can change the position of each of the virtual speakers. This area right here allows you to control the volume of either ear cup individually. The next tab is the EQ. I've already configured it to what I prefer, so I'm not going to change anything. There are many different presets you can pick from, but to be completely honest, configure your own EQ and don't use these. The next tab is the environment configurator. You're able to pick how you want the headset to sound in a certain location, as well as the size of the room. I wouldn't recommend using this setting though, as the audio will sound super echoey. And the last tab is where all the silly mic effects are located, and you're also able to shift the key of the audio by however many sharps or flats you'd like. For instance, you're listening to a song that's in C major, but if you raise it by 1 sharp, the song is now in C sharp major. Definitely a cool and unique feature, and it's fun to mess around with. The other setting in this tab is vocal cancellation, which removes the vocals from a song, so you're only listening to the instrumental. I'm not sure how it works entirely, but I wouldn't recommend using it as it extremely distresses the sound. For pricing of the Hebe M2, it comes in at $50. Given its features, I'd say it's an okay price. and it'd be even better value if certain things were fixed and improved. However, I can't seem to find where to purchase this headset in the US as of now, but when I do, I'll be sure to leave a link in the description down below. Moving over to pros and cons as well as my final verdict. For pros, the RGB lighting is a nice touch for those who want a setup full of flashy lights. I personally don't find any use in them because you can't even see them when you're on your head, but it's nice to know that it's there. The headband is also decently padded, which is definitely important for over-ear headsets or headphones. Another feature I find enjoyable is the vibration. I'm the type of guy who enjoys lots of bass, so this really helps amplify that. Lastly, the microphone is quite nice for a $50 headset. I really didn't expect it to sound this good due to past experiences with headset mics. As for cons, the ear cushions on the Hebe M2 are way too shallow and uncomfortable. They're always pressing against my ears, and after long periods of use, I just find it to be completely unusable. This factor itself is very much a deal breaker for me, and trust me, I really hope this headset will be comfortable. The button placement on this headset is also something I'm not too fond of. The mic mute is way too far down in my opinion, with the RGB toggler taking up its optimal spot. To have to stick my thumb between the microphone and the headset cable in order to actually mute the mic results in my hand twisting at an awkward angle. So like I've said earlier, either swap the positions of these two buttons, or move the mic mute higher up and have the RGB toggler on the right ear cup so the left side isn't as cramped. The 7.1 surround sound is also unusable in my opinion. It just makes the headset sound very echoey, so I'd advise to keep it off. The out-of-the-box sound of the Hebe M2 is also quite lackluster. It's just way too flat and has very little bass. In terms of other minor nitpicks I have, I'd like to see a braided cable be used instead as it gives a sense of better durability. I'd also like to see the Harris software be updated to something that has a more modern and cleaner user interface, as I feel like the current iteration looks way too gaudy and busy. So in the end, would I recommend the Gamdias Hebe M2 RGB gaming headset? The answer is kind of. While the headset itself has some pretty nice features like the vibration or the great sounding mic for its price, the overall comfort and the button placement are just really big deal breakers for me. If you don't care about how comfy a headset feels or where the onboard controls are placed, then by all means get this headset and remember to configure the EQ. Now, if you do care, I can't really say the same. As always, link in the description once I can find it on a major US retailer. Anyway, that'll be it for my review of the Gamdias Hebe M2 RGB gaming headset. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like to show your support, subscribe if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so you won't miss out on any of my future uploads. Feel free to follow me on Instagram at KingXFOfficial, as well as join my Discord server where more giveaways will be happening in the future. I'm KingXF, let's get to 1,000 subs, and I'll see y'all next time.